to find out different features related to R. So some of the features are listed here. Like whenever we go for learning a language, so we should know that what are the capabilities of that language is. What are the things that particular language can do? What are the tasks that particular programming language can perform, right? So all those information you should have. In the same way, for our programming language, we have different features here. So if we list out different features, so we have like, first of all, R is comprehensive programming language that provides support for procedural language involving function as well as object-oriented programming with generic function. Now here if you see the R, just like your C, what is C? C is C we used to take as a procedure oriented language. And if we talk about C++, it is more related to, or C++ and Java, it is more related to object oriented. So this is procedure oriented and this is object oriented. But if we'll talk about R is a combination of both. So R is a comprehensive programming language that provides support for procedure language involving function as well as object-oriented programming with generic function. So R is we can say it is supporting procedure oriented or function oriented programming, as well as it is supporting object oriented programming, as well as it has many generic functions. So it has some inbuilt function. We'll talk about those functions later on when we discuss different functions associated with different data structures of R at that particular time. Then we'll go for other detail, the featuring of it. Then we'll talk about different functions that that is very much useful in R. So R is supporting both type of programming, procedure oriented as well as object oriented. R can be easily integrated with many other technologies and framework. So it can have the facility by which we can easily integrate it with different technology as well as different framework. If we'll talk about the framework, so we have a framework of Hadoop and its Hadoop distributed file system. R can easily connect with it. Now, if you remember that particular technology, the Hadoop technology, Hadoop is very much famous related to big data. So for big data analysis, it means that the parallel programming and all is done in the Hadoop, Spark, and all those databases. But this R is you see, R is completely integrate. We can integrate the Hadoop and those HDFS through R. So that's why for the big data analysis, R is one of the best choice right now we have related to the big data analysis. Okay. Now you might have the information related to the big data, right? Now, if we'll talk about the big data, so big data generally will have the property, means every data is not called big data. Okay, so big data will have a differences with the.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Suraj, your voice is not audible.
It is from very beginning.
No. Just now, just 1 minute.
Okay.
Just 1 minute. Now it is coming.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So, yeah. So we are here, I think in the second one, right? We have completed this, the procedure oriented, and so R is very much what we can say is very much adopting the procedure oriented as well as the object oriented programming together. Okay. Next feature, if we'll talk about, so the R is can be integrated with the different technologies and the framework like Hadoop and HDFS. There are many other technology that can be connected with it. Now we know that the Hadoop are the framework which is working in HDFS, which is called Hadoop distributed file system, and it is useful for the big data analysis. And you see the R programming is very much popular among the big data analyzer or the person who will do the big data analysis. And they can easily, because they can easily do integrate with the Hadoop and the HDFS, as well as R has the facility by which we can analyze different relational as well as different non-relational databases. So that's why it is very much famous among it. The technology called big data, we know that a simple data is not called big data. Okay. So big data involved with 3 V's. First is the volume, second is the velocity, third is the variety. Now, if we'll talk about volume, means if we'll talk about big data, the volume should be big, means the data size should be big. Then we can say it is a big data. Second property is velocity, how quickly the data is generated from that particular source. That is also comes under the property of the big data. And the variety means from the different sources we have taken the data. So that if all three are involved and related to a data, then that data named as big data. Okay. And this big data would be processed through the framework called Hadoop. And it will work in the file system called Hadoop distributed file system, and R will help them to analyze those big data. It can also integrate with other programming languages. See, R can easily integrate with other programming languages like we have C, C++, Python, Java, Fortran, as well as JavaScript. So whenever we require the help of the R, we can integrate our programs with R, and we can take the advantage of R whenever we require. Next is next feature of R, we can say, is an open source. So that is known by everybody, right? It is an open source. It is a free software. So R is an open source programming language. It is completely free for anybody to use. It is under GUN project right now. GUN is the free operating system we have, and it is under that. Variety of packages. Now, even though R is an open source, it doesn't mean that R doesn't have the updated version of it or updated package of it. R has a very rich package available. You can see around 15,000 different packages available online with the repository of Crane, its own repository, or bioconductor repository or GitHub repository. So we can find out different packages, whatever packages we want to, you just click that particular package and it will install in your system and integrate with R. So there are a vast number of packages we have. We'll learn some of the packages in this particular 4 days. So the first is the open source, second is the variety of packages it has. There are some more features like powerful graphics. Many programming languages does not support a different type of graphics or very well graphics output, right? But R is the language which easily can provide the graphical output or to represent the data into the form of graphs. So R is very much capable to do that. So our graphical capability are amazing. It can produce publication quality graphs and plot of any kind of its base package, fully uh, fully supported. It's not a stop, supported with added packages. We have ggplot2. This is one package generally we use for plotting any type of graphs and all, or plotty is another package that we can use it. Next feature is no need of compiler. We know that it doesn't require a compiler. It is an interpreted programming language. So R is a language is interpreted. It does not need a compiler to convert the code into the program. So we'll write in the form of a script. Cross-platform support. Now this is very good feature of R. Now that's why this R is a platform independent programming language. So R is cross-platform supportive, that it is can run on any operating system and in any software environment without any hassle. So without any issues or without any problem or without doing much what we can say settings and all, we can run in any of the operating system or any of the software environment. Platform fast calculation. Now here for the R, the calculation and all we can do in a fraction of second. So it has a very powerful data structure as well as the calculation pattern by which we can do the calculation or we can get the result very quick. So through R, you can perform a wide variety of complex operation on vectors. So these are the data structure, vector, array, data frames, and other data object of varying size. Furthermore, all these operation operate at a lightning speed. So very quickly we can get the results or the calculations from R, and it is very quick, very quick. Now, one of the reason why it is very quick is it is taking a lot of memory. So if in your system or in your laptop, right now, if you have 2 GB of RAM, so I'm afraid that it will slow down your system. Otherwise, if you have, let's say, 4 GB or more of RAM, which is common in today's laptop and all, so it is very much, or you can easily install it and easily you can use it. So it is taking acquiring a large amount of memory when you use it. So you have to take care of the memory spaces. But yes, once it has been installed in your system, once it has enough memory available, then it will run very quick. So these are different features of R that we have.